back for a little
a very special occasion.
Mhm. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a little recapping since we had
A lot of personal stuff been going on.
we had a lot of stuff going on, but we're gonna jump right into the attorney, as they
The
call
March
it.
Madness, the glorious
the
tournament.
glorious March Madness tournament. First of all, we're gonna recap in this video. The only thing we're gonna do, we're gonna recap round 1, which is the round of 64.
And then our next video will be a recap of the round of 32 matchups.
Yep. So we're gonna jump into this real quick because there's a lot of games. Lots of games.
Oh, yes.
Round of 64. There's 32 games. So let's jump right in them. We'll just jump round 1. We had Minnesota and Louisville.
Okay, though, Minnesota winning that game was really surprising. I don't think really Minnesota.
That blew my bracket right there. That was I had Louisville picked right there. The first game, bracket gone. First game, bracket gone.
Well, Louisville had an impressive first year under Chris Mack, but I didn't think they'd go out in the first round. But I guess that's what first-year coaches do.
Yeah. I really thought. I think they're going to be pretty good next year, though. You want to jump on to another game?
Yes.
We gotta roll through. We got Yale at LSU.
And LSU won the game, and
By 5 points. Yale gave them a good run.
In true March fashion, the lower seeds giving the higher seeds a little trouble there.
Gave them a run for the money. It wouldn't have been a surprise if they would have lost that game. Then we had New Mexico State Auburn, talking about the little guy giving them a run for their money.
By the hair on the back of their heads.
78-77. By the hair of their chinny chin chin. And then Auburn went on. We'll talk about the next round, but they barely skimmed through New Mexico State there. We had Vermont, Florida State. Florida State came out on top.
Even though Vermont hit 16 threes on them.
16 threes. Florida State is a solid team.
They beat Virginia in the ACC tournament this year.
They are a solid team. We had Bradley at Michigan State.
Michigan State had trouble with them early, but Bradley put them away. Well, Michigan State put them away in the second half.
Yeah, won by a good solid 11 points at the end. Michigan State is going to be dangerous.
A dark horse contender.
They're a dark horse contender. I've actually got them floating in my Final Four there. We had Belmont at Maryland. Another skim by this.
We picked Belmont to win the game.
I picked Belmont on that one. But it was 79-77.
They would give we're not going to give away anything in the next round, but they gave trouble to their next opponent.
They gave trouble. Yeah, Belmont gave trouble to Maryland. I really thought Belmont might be the Cinderella of this year. We had Northeastern Kansas. Kansas key rushed them by 34. I think it was 34.
What do you think a blue blood team like Kansas is going to do to a smaller school?
I know Kansas has been so bad this year. It would have been surprising if they lost, but they took care of them handily. And then we had our first upset.
Oh, here we go. This is what the tournament is all about.
That's what makes it fun. Murray State Marquette. Bye-bye Marquette. The number 12.
They started off so hot this year, but they just fizzled out at the worst time.
Yeah, Murray State won by 19. It wasn't even close.
And everyone's been talking about this guy named John Morant on the basketball sources. And he had a triple-double that game. So, good for him.
Good for him. Yeah, we had Florida, Nevada, another. I don't call that an upset, but it was a 10 seed over a 7 seed, so it was a good upset. Florida over Nevada, 70-61.
I kind of knew Nevada wasn't really all that based on this year's rankings, to be honest.
Yeah, Florida wasn't a great team this year, but they wasn't a bad team, and they played a pretty tough schedule. So,
of course, they were playing in this year's SEC, which was really tough.
Brutal. Yeah, this year's SEC was a brutal. Speaking of that, Abilene Christian, Kentucky
was not even a contest.
Kentucky won by 25, so
was not even a contest.
No. We had another one, Fairleigh Dickinson, Gonzaga.
Of course, Gonzaga's been a consistent top 4 team this whole season.
Gonzaga beat them by 87-49. We had St. Mary's Cal, Villanova.
St. Mary's against Villanova.
That was a really close game, 61-57. St. Mary's had them on the ropes fire for a while. But Villanova's got Jay Wright as a coach. He's
won the championship 2 of the past 3 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, they got a really good coach. They don't have a great team, but they got a good coach, which makes up for a lot of
I feel like they were too young. They're too young this year to really...
to do too much, yeah. We had Seton Hall Wofford.
Okay, that
Wofford.
one.
Woof.
Woof, 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 woof. Their players set the record for most three-pointers made in a career with 508, I believe.
Yep, and beat Seton Hall 84-68.
Well, talk about pull away at the last moment.
They pulled away there at the end. We had Montana at Michigan. Michigan won by 19.
Michigan's a veteran team led by a coach that is known to win in the tournament.
Michigan's another team that I think's a dark horse. People don't talk about much. I've got them at least creeping up into the Elite Eight, maybe to the Final Four on that one.
They're always a team to watch once they get in the tournament.
Now we had a minor upset, a 9-8. We had Baylor over Syracuse.
Well, that shocked me. Syracuse is usually a team that sneaks out 2 wins in the tournament and then goes out.
And then goes out. They didn't even sneak out one in this one. They just snuck out. But it wasn't a bad game. 78-69. It was only a 9-point game.
Well, congrats, Baylor.
We had ODU, Old Dominion, Purdue. Purdue won by 13. Purdue's a solid team, too. Purdue's a good, solid team.
Well, the Big Ten's been a really strong conference this season, sending 8 teams.
Yeah, they sent 8 teams. What, the ACC sent 8?
The ACC sent 7. The SEC sent
7, and the Big Ten sent 8. So, but they lost. There was a lot of them went out in the first 2 reigns. They went from 8 to 4, I think. But we'll get into that. We had Iowa, Cincinnati. And that's another upset, a number 10 Iowa over a number 7 Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's always had
had Cincinnati. Some people have Cincinnati as going somewhere, but they went somewhere out the door.
There's always this
and they were playing in Columbus. I mean,
in Ohio,
an hour away from their hour and a half away from their back door, and still lost. But that's the way it goes sometimes. We had another minor upset. Number 9 Oklahoma over number 8 Ole Miss, 95-72. Wasn't even close, 23-point blowout.
Man, I just looked at that game.
That surprised me. That was a surprising game.
I thought Ole Miss
might have been
kept
close.
It competitive.
No, they got their butt kicked.
Yeah, that was another first-year head coach took them to the tournament. Kermit Davis, he was the guy who
He's probably going to be a good coach, but this is his first year, and it just didn't.
Of course, well,
they look like they hadn't been in the tournament before.
No, they haven't been in the tournament.
Yeah, we had Northern Kentucky, Texas Tech. Texas Tech won by 15 pretty easily. Texas Tech's got a strong program too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We had UC Irvine, K-State upset.
The big upset of the tournament.
The big upset.
13 over the 4.
13 over 4. K-State out the door.
Well, there goes your deep tournament run.
And it was 70-64. It wasn't a last bucket shot. I mean, they won by 6 points there at the end. K-State tried to come back but couldn't.
Anteaters.
We had Colgate at my Tennessee Vols.
At the Tennessee Vols, well.
Tennessee Vols. Man, Colgate gave them some trouble. There was a lot of 3-pointers made in that game by Colgate.
I tell you, Tennessee's biggest flaw as a team, they cannot defend the 3-point line.
It's hard, and the bracket they're in is
full of 3-point shooting teams.
If they make it through that, it's going to be a gauntlet. We had Gardner-Webb, Virginia. Virginia won by 15. We sort of figured that. No, we didn't. They were actually down to some point at one point during the first half. They were down. Was it at halftime? They were down.
Oh my goodness.
I think so.
Virginia was down by 6 at halftime.
Yeah.
To a 16 seed again.
Yeah. I was thinking in the back of my head, surely not 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, they're going to lose to a 16. But
they would have been the laughing stock of the century.
Yes, they would have. But they came back in the second half.
But hey, redemption's always there.
Yeah, we had AZ State, Buffalo. Buffalo won that one by 17 pretty comfortably.
Oh yeah, pretty easily because well, Arizona State probably was really questionably in the tournament. The Pac-12 was just really bad this year.
But we've got a Pac-12 Cinderella. 3 of the 12 fives went the 12 way. And another one was Oregon, Wisconsin.
Which I picked.
I picked that one too. Oregon was on a 8-game winning streak going into the tournament.
And won the conference tournament.
So they're a little bit on fire right now. So
they crushed Wisconsin.
And personally, I would not want to play
Oregon
right now. They beat Wisconsin by 18.
Quack.
Washington, another minor 9-8. Washington beat Utah State.
Which I thought Washington was going to win that ball.
Washington was the stronger team throughout the year. They went off a little bit towards the end of the year, but they were of the Pac-12 teams. They were
one
decent.
of the stronger defensive teams. I think.
We had North Dakota State, Duke. Duke won by 23.
Duke. Okay, where do we start?
Duke, yeah. Zion, they go as Zion goes. So
yeah, if Zion goes one way, the team goes that way, and if he doesn't play well, they don't play well.
Yeah.
But when he plays well, they're like a ongoing freight train.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We had Georgia State, Houston. Houston is another team that's dangerous. Houston's sort of like the team that nobody talks about them, but they're going to beat you. And Houston, I wouldn't want to play Houston. I think Houston's going to go deeper in the tourney than some people think. The other 12-5 upset, Liberty over Mississippi State. Boy, Mississippi had a
terrible tournament.
Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Gone in the first round.
First round, man. Both of them. That was tough. Liberty's got a tough little team, though. We had Iona, North Carolina. North Carolina won by 15. It never
kept on the tradition of number one seeds taking care of the 16s.
Mm-hmm. And then we had the other 9/8. We had I think all 4 9/8s won. UCF beat VCU by 15. It was pretty comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had that huge center.
Like 7'6".
Taco Fall was 7'6", 311 pounds.
And he's not super athletic, but he's pretty athletic.
He could get up on his tippy toes and block your shot.
Yeah. I think it was an 8 foot, think about this, 8 foot 6 inch reach.
That is ridiculous.
He can reach. He can turn sideways and almost touch the rim. Crazy.
He's ridiculous, dude.
He's crazy. We had Ohio State over Iowa State, another upset, 11/6.
Well,
won by 3. Made it close, but they got it.
I think like Chris Holtmann was like a younger head coach too, leading Ohio State. The past several years, Ohio State's really disappointed people.
Yeah. They got a new coach in. They'll see. Ever since Thad Matta got booted, they haven't really been all that good of a team. But this new coach may be something for them.
Well, he did have previous head coaching success at Butler, so that could help them.
Yep. And then the last one, we had St. Louis at Va Tech. Va Tech won that by 14. It was a 4/13. Va Tech's got a decent team, too.
Oh, Virginia Tech. Well, the ACC's been a strong conference all year.
Yeah.
So
they're really top-heavy. They're not as strong throughout the conference, but their first 5 teams could beat anybody.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to look out for that. Florida State, Virginia,
Carolina.
North Carolina, even to Va Tech.
They could beat anybody.
They could beat any team. They could match up any day and beat just about anybody. So you got to watch out for them. And believe it or not, that was pretty quick.
So that is the round of...
That is the round of 64.
And stay tuned for our round of 32 recap.
Yep, we're going to jump in and we'll do a round of 32 recap pretty soon. Other than that, be sure to click the like, click the subscribe.
Hit the groovy baby button.
Share us with your friends. We all need more friends. Other than that, hit the groovy button. We're out of here. See ya.
Happy March, people. See ya next week.
Madness.